Okay. Okie dokie. There's starting, and there's the other. Okay. Oh, doo-doo-doo. Our numbers are 0. Our numbers are 3. Hello, hello, hello. And just letting the everything populate here. So if you hop on, post a comment here, just say hi real quick. Uh, just want to see if the chat is working. Engineer Paul assures me that it is, but we'll see. We'll let a few more folks get on here on this cold Friday night. Oh wow! Look over on the over there where there's Facebook. Well, okay, it's showing up on Facebook, but it's not showing up here. Okay, you can say, well, you can say hi, but okay, the experiment we've done there now, so it's not showing up. So I will let Paul know. Alrighty. It's another edition of Wild Weather Guy Theater here for you as we get you set for what still looks to be the historic storm. Or at least the potential is certainly there. We'll kind of put things in perspective here for you in a little bit. Yeah, Florida's not quite like this. So, yeah, welcome to Kentucky. All righty, we'll go ahead and get started here. Oop, before I do, same cough that plagued me during the 5:30. Of course, the same cough that's plagued me since before Christmas. So, you get that little tickle in the throat there, and yeesh. Trying to alleviate that. Okay. Well, now that you all got to see that, and of course, it doesn't feel like it's getting any better, so this will be interesting here. So, all right. Actually, I wonder if I can do this real quick, just so you don't have to hear me cough online, because there's nothing better on the internet than having a weather guy cough online. So I'll take this here as long as I can. If I have to cut the audio out, I'll cut the audio out, and y'all just hang around. All right. With all that said, let's start you off with tonight. Cold weather advisory is in place. We will have single-digit low temperatures tonight, wind chills going below 0. So this is setting the table for the rest of the weekend because we're putting the Arctic air in place. This is Arctic Air 1. Arctic Air 2 arrives Monday. Arctic Air 3 gets here at the end of the week, and that's the coldest of the bunch. So at the moment, you can see that it is very, very cold. Northerly winds are out there. You are seeing single digits up there, northern Kentucky. Teens now all the way down to standard. I mean, this is just cold. And you could certainly feel the difference out there. 10 now in Frankfort, 14 Winchester, 14 south side of Lexington, 13 in Georgetown. Hey, that's kind of cool. Right up, let's see, should be right up there. Yep, right up there is the moon. But what I wanted to show you here was this. Dew point is -6. That is about as dry air as we can get, but that also tells you this is pure Arctic air. The north wind at 11 gives you a wind chill of 1 if you're headed out this evening. But what that number tells you also is that once it starts precipitating tomorrow, it's going to take a little while to overcome that number because the air is so dry. So it'll take a little while to moisten things up and get temperature and dew point to be equal, but at that point, the dew point will be somewhere in the teens because that's where the temperature is going to be. So here you go with the winter storm warning. It's not just us. I'm going to show you how big this is coming up here. It's a lot of us. So the winter storm warning, if you run it from south of El Paso through us, so to there in Vermont is 2,000 miles of winter storm warnings. I mean, this is just absolutely mind-boggling. You've got ice storm warnings. Oop, let me pull that off. You've got ice storm warnings around the Atlanta metro. So you can see there's the beltway going around Atlanta. So you've got ice storm warnings there. They go all the way down to southern Louisiana to Beaumont, Texas. You've got winter storm warnings in and around Houston. I mean, this is just insane what is going on here. So again, huge swath of the country being impacted by this storm. So let's go ahead and look at this here. We're going to start you off 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. You see the temperatures, how cold they are at 7 in the morning. The radars may begin to be lit up with some snow to the southwest. By lunchtime, also halftime basically now of the UK game, you can see how snow is overspreading. Now at the leading edge of this, maybe a little, this may not be reaching the ground yet, but I think that we're getting to these darker shadings back here. We are seeing the snow coming down, and the thing is, we go through your Saturday, it's all snow. And it may start coming down at a really good clip late in the afternoon into the evening, and you can see those very cold temperatures. Now, we get you to midnight, and you notice what's going on here. The model is showing a mix. Now, a couple of things go on when the model is showing a mix. One of the things is, okay, maybe it is legitimately a sleet. It could be showing sleet, could be showing freezing rain, could also be showing snow. And a lot of times when you're in that mix, the model's going, I don't know. I would suspect that some of that sleet may be, or the mix may be overdone, and snow still covering a bigger area at that point. You notice though, as we get you into Sunday morning, that line comes north, even though the temperatures are still very cold in central Kentucky, with the teens and 20s. But notice to the south, we are above freezing, so we're changing over to rain. Through most of the night, that could actually be freezing rain and sleet in southeast Kentucky, and then it goes over to rain for a while. You'll see there's noon on Sunday, and most everybody in southeast Kentucky above freezing, including the 40 in Harlan, but a lot of folks at a 35-degree rain. You'll see these temperatures right in here that are running in the mid-20s, mid to upper 20s. I suspect that's going to be sleet and freezing rain at that point, and I think the changeover, I think it's going to be, sleet at that point probably in Lexington. You see the all snow going on in the north, and then as the colder air begins to pour back in, as the system starts to pull away, the transition takes place. So again, across the south, a decent amount of rain from this system. But again, just some of the worst winter you can imagine to the north. And then Sunday night, Monday morning, basically that's on the Arctic front, comes through and pushes one more batch of snow through to top off whatever happens to be there. So again, there's all kinds of stuff going on here. So again, the start is sometime around noon-ish, maybe mid to late morning to around noon. And then you will end up transitioning late Saturday night and Sunday into the mix, especially south of Lexington. Otherwise, expect sleet around Lexington as well. And then goes back to snow. And no panic. Well, be prepared. Don't panic. It's the best way to describe that. I'm only getting a few comments that I can see here. I was trying to find some for you. Ice, Marion County along the Boyle County line. You're going to have all kinds of stuff going on there. I think you are going to get freezing rain for a while. We'll get to all that coming up again. So what's going on a mile up? We live at the surface, obviously. We don't live a mile up, but what's going on a mile up dictates what goes on down here. So at 7 a.m., you can see everyone is below the 25-degree threshold. This is snow everywhere you look. So and you also notice there's northerly winds matched in there, but as the southerly winds aloft begin to take hold, you'll notice temperatures across the south really begin to moderate. And when you're getting to that 29 and 30 degree line at a mile up, that's 850 millibars up, So now you've probably got sleet ongoing Saturday evening, maybe freezing rain. Actually, not freezing. That's going to be sleet at that point. Um, and then as we continue forward, you'll notice that you've got temperatures that kicked above. I'll go ahead and slow this down. That we're getting above freezing in Richmond and in Danville. So you see these, you see those numbers? Those are telling you, okay, you've got probably freezing rain. In fact, you do have freezing rain ongoing at that point. And so it could be in that realm where we're looking at the ice storm, maybe getting as far north as Highway 52. And you can see all the other temperatures that are well above freezing across southern Kentucky, and we'll just expand that forward. Lexington, because we're in the late morning Sunday, when that freezing mark happens at 8:50, you're looking probably at sleet. So there may be a few hours of sleet before the snow comes in and takes hold again. And you can even see the low here. I can't do the telestrate, but you see the low, the counterclockwise right there. That's your low that brings the warm air aloft. That is our traditional snow killer. You know, after 27 winters here, you kind of learn what goes on sometimes with the patterns. That the lows love to come up west of the mountains and drag that warm air at a mile up, and then the lows will reform on the other side of the Appalachians, turn into a nor'easter, and then they get buried, and we miss out on some of the snow that we should have gotten given our latitude, but don't because of the mountains and where we are in relation to it. So that's your setup there. So let's take you back. Oh, we've done all that. Let's show you just a little bit of history here, and then we'll go back and kind of reorganize things here for you. So where is this going to fit in history? The ice storm, actually 98 was the 17 inches of a dusting, February of 98, which shows up here on this list. So that's your top 10 two-day snowfalls, as this one in Lexington will straddle Saturday and Sunday, and actually make it a 3-day because it probably goes into Monday as well. So the all-time record is 17 inches from about 10 years ago, March 3rd and 4th of 2015. That was the tail end of what was just a remarkable 3-week stretch of winter in central Kentucky after what had been a very warm winter, December and January. It started on Valentine's Day, and we had a heavy snow right after Valentine's Day, and that was one of the top snows of all time. Then you get 3 weeks of just brutal cold, and that's the bookend of it there with the greatest snow, 2-day snow ever that we've recorded. You see the 1998 numbers there. That's your dusting. Other numbers, 1978 shows up on one of those. Also have the greatest just single-day snowfall. So if we're able to pull off, a foot of snow on Saturday, which I don't think we will get all that much on Saturday, but how this lists, February 4th, that's part of the dusting. But here's February 16th, 2015, 10 inches. March 5th, 10 inches. As recently as that January 6th storm, 2022, about 10 inches that really just thumped on Lexington, and a lot of places nearby didn't get in on it. So that's your historical perspective. So what kind of air are we talking about with this first shot of Arctic air? Look at to the north. I mean, it's 33 below zero in International Falls this morning. As close as Chicago was 11 below. Cleveland was 1 below. So that's the lows this morning. And right now, I mean, it's not like it's any bargain. Cleveland's below zero. Kansas is below zero. Chicago's below zero. You can see all that to the north. So this is just the true Arctic air mass that is in place, and it's going to be reinforced a couple of times over the next week. So I forgot to put the map up. How about, would you like to see the snowfall map? Finish on this one here. Here we go. Okay. Here are your numbers. So again, as we look at these, remember, the numbers are nice to talk about. It gives you a benchmark. It's, it's I don't want to make a competition with the numbers. We're trying to beat this event. But when you see these numbers, again, they're nice to talk about, but what's the real world implications to these. And it truly if these numbers come to fruition as we see they are, not just the snow, but the ice potential as well, this is serious disruptions to normal life, and not just for a day. This is something that goes a couple, several days in places because it's not going anywhere. With the brutal cold we've got following, this is just going to be here for a while. And we've got a couple of weeks of just unbelievable cold coming in. So here's what I see going on. And we'll start you from south to north. We'll take it from the least to the most. Across the south and southeast, you saw how much rain was going to be part of that equation. So there is going to be some snow during the day Saturday. There will be some sleet. There will be some freezing rain for a while. But I think there's a long enough period of rain in the counties down there closer to the Tennessee line that when this is all said and done, there's not going to be that much snow around. And I think the bulk of what will end up being there is what falls Sunday night and Monday. But as we come north, there's going to be less of a period of rain. So the parkways, the Cumberland Parkway, actually I can illustrate this to make life easier. So in this area, this is what we're talking about now. You see that there is a 3 to 6 inch snow, and then I think there is a strong potential for ice, and could be significant ice. So a disruptive ice storm becomes part of the equation, and I'm really getting a sneaking worry that that dangerous ice level may come up a little further north. It could include Richmond, could include Danville, could include Berea, Stanford, Liberty, maybe Mount Vernon, Beattyville, Campton, Irvin, West Liberty. Again, the potential is there. Regardless of that little bit of a worry, here's what I see: 4 to 8 inches of snow. In addition to that, the sleet, which will kill snowfall amounts, but also that freezing rain potential, the ice, maybe as far north as Danville and Campton, and Richmond. So that's something to have filed away in the back of your mind there. And yeah, nobody wants the ice. And in the purple shading, which would include Lexington, and that is where I think we get a pretty heavy dosing of snow. 8 to 12 inches plus of snow, and the plus is there if we get a little bit less sleet. But I think we have a few hours at least of sleet in Lexington. We may start heading toward that higher number. If we get a little more sleet, then we head toward the lower number, both of which are possible. That KSR thing that was on today, I came in at 10.8. That would put it as one of our top snows of all time. There's a little bit of a variance there. And again, the sleet is the wild card, as we've talked about. And it's right now trying to forecast that exact amount of sleet. That's even harder than trying to predict the exact amount of snow, but the two are interrelated. And the reason it's harder is because you're dealing with an interpolated temperature aloft. We don't have that many thermometers that are sitting a mile up. So we have to extrapolate a lot of data on that. And so that can be a little ootsy sometimes. And then finally across the north, I think it's all snow, and it's 12 inches plus. I'd say 16 to 18 is probably the top end out of this. Regardless, it's going to be a lot. And it's one of those things, Saturday, you can start the day getting around. As Saturday afternoon goes on, I think getting around becomes more difficult. And by the time we're into Sunday, I think travel is going to be really, really hard over most of Kentucky. And not only most of Kentucky, I think a better part of southern Indiana, southern Ohio, back toward middle Tennessee and Nashville, back to Memphis. I mean, you saw the areas that were under the warnings. So that is your setup here. Oh, so let's see. I can only see like 4 at a time here. Yes, I did say when it starts tomorrow. If you were here 20 minutes ago, tomorrow it starts there could be some snow beginnings mid to late morning, but I think noonish is still your pretty good time. And then as the afternoon goes on, we will see the snow increase. And that increase will be southwest to northeast. So again, I'm only seeing 4 comments at a time. Yeah, Shopville, I'd be worried about the ice. I'm coming to Shopville in March for the school. Georgetown, I think mostly you'll have more snow than Lexington, but there could be a period of sleet in there as well. And again, I think the sleet line or the rain, freezing rain versus sleet line, I think it's going to come in maybe something like that. I ran into the keyboard. So I think that's about as far north as the freezing rain gets. So, but you'll have sleet in that area, Danville and Mount Vernon and McKee, and as you head south, you get less snow and more ice. So that's it. We've got all hands on deck in here tomorrow. Well, starting tomorrow afternoon, and then going on into Sunday. So it is going to be, this is an event. Again, you think about the disruptions to normal life. Think about also, well, we haven't even mentioned, you normally have pets outside. My goodness, make sure they've got shelter and warm shelter, because what's following is just brutal cold. I didn't post it or show temperatures here, but I will real quick because I can. So on our 8-day, you can count them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days that I've got forecasted below 0. We don't go above freezing. Second weekend of February, maybe. This is that kind of long, so where's the warm up, Charles? Second weekend of February, or second week of February. This is going to be something here. Father Jim, did you get my forecast for Richmond? I wanted to make sure I got in on your contest there. So I know I sent you the Twitter thingy. So hopefully you got that. Father Jim, similar to what KSR was doing, he was doing a quick little snow contest with a donation going to charity for snow measurement at his statue outside his house in Richmond. Good, you got it. All right, I think I had 8 for Richmond. So we'll see where that ends up. And thank you for doing that, Father Jim. By the way, for KSR both and for Father Jim, if your friendly neighborhood weather guy ends up forecasting correctly, the Salvation Army will be a very happy group. So hopefully that all plays out for them. So that's it, boys and girls. It's you look at the numbers and you just go, wow. This, what sometimes nature can do here is phenomenal. So here's the setup where you've got the high pressure that's driving the Arctic air in. By the way, when you look at the computer models, they've been in 2 distinct camps, and there is no intermingling between the two. The American model is insistent that the heaviest snow axis runs along the I-64 corridor, including Lexington. Could it be right? Sure. But it's not usually a model that you would be a go-to, but it's been doing it now for a day and a half. The European model has the heavier snow axis north and northwest of Lexington, and it's been steadfast in it, and with numbers that are about 2/3 of what the American model has. When you get into the short-term models, the higher res models, numbers are even smaller. So that may end up being the correct scenario. Like I said, there's a lot going on here. I'm doing modified version of the Euro number using a couple of different parameters, not just the straight snowfall charts. So there was actual math involved. So that's, again, what I was looking for Lexington. So just to run this through here for you, how you watch you saw the low down there in Texas. Here comes the initial surge as we get you on into noon. So again, noonish is when a lot of us will get started with the snow. And then we take you into the latter part of the afternoon and evening. You see it's still all snow, but here comes the warm nose. And with it, right there, that is where temperatures get warm enough that it changes over to rain. You've got a mixture, you've got sleet, you've got freezing rain, you've got rain, and snow in there as well. But again, that would show the heavier axis more toward the Ohio River than the I-64 corridor. So that's, again, one of our in-house short-term models. It's putting down about 9. So again, there's a significant winter storm coming that will have definite effects on normal life. That's the bottom line. Take care of your neighbors. Make sure they're okay. Teenagers, I think teenagers still can do this. Making money, shoveling snow. I've always had the joke, and it's not the joke because it's the truth. 2 reasons my parents had me. Mow grass, shovel snow. That's it. So that's a way, go around, get a group of guys together, group of friends, and shovel driveways. Help your neighbors out. If they may need it over the next coming few days. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on. Again, make sure animals have shelter. Bring them in if you can. So with that, guys, oh golly, keep it nice. Measuring, by the way, is going to be probably a little problematic. Technically, the best way to do it is off a board or off a solid surface that hasn't had wind contamination, which may be a problem tomorrow as well. If you're sticking it down into the grass, that's kind of, you get a little bit of an extra kick to the amounts just because of the way the snow lays on the grass. Excuse me. So, but that'll be a problem for Saturday and Sunday. So that we're going to wrap this up here for tonight. Did I get, nope, and see, did the chat work? Didn't work at all. So again, just want to pull a few things off of here. Shelly, good luck with that. I hope your son is able to do some good stuff. Yeah, and trolls will do what trolls will do. And that's okay. It is going to be a long weekend. It is going to be one where this may be one of the ones you tell your grandkids about. Who knows? We'll see where we end up with this. And with that, we'll be with you on LAX 18 News tonight at 11. Patrick will be in here in the morning, and I think he's doing Facebook. I taught him how to do it the other day. And then he'll have his regular shows, and then I think we're starting cut-ins. I don't know if we're starting tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening. So there's a lot of stuff going on here at LAX. We thank you for joining in the stream today. More YouTubers than we've had previously, so that's cool. Thanks for chiming in today, and we do appreciate you. And again, I hope you get the weather you want. We hope the ice stays away. And thanks for clicking on our stream here at LA.